Most Americans are overweight, they're inflamed, they're fatigued, they don't feel good, and the normal is not even close to optimal. You have to think of what's normal for you and not a sick old person that's tired and ready to die.
Think of it like school grades. Everyone fails a test. The teacher grades on a curve, then 75% still counts as a C. Hormones are the same way. It's basically passing the lab test. Doesn't mean your body feels good.
Testosterone, for example, on most labs, normal will range between 250 and 1100. A middle-aged man under 500 usually does not feel good. I see a lot of middle-aged men that are anywhere from 200 to 350. They feel terrible. That is not normal.
Welcome to Look Good, Feel Good with Matt and Amy McKinley, the podcast where we bring you expert advice and honest, real talk on health, wellness, and feeling your absolute best. From hormone optimization to aesthetics and everything in between, we're here to help you live your best life. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Look Good and Feel Good with Matt and Amy. I'm Amy.
Howdy, I'm Matt.
Yeah, so I hear this all the time. My doctor says my hormones are normal. When they get their labs from them and they say, we're all normal, but then why do you feel exhausted? Why are you gaining weight? Why do you have brain fog? Why is it that normal, when they say normal, it's not good enough. And so the word normal has almost become this thing as you're saying, you're fine, stop complaining, you're all normal. That means you should be feeling good.
Based upon what a piece of paper says, right?
Yeah, and optimal ranges.
On a lab, I'm just going to explain this. Most people fit in a normal range. Normal ranges are based in this healthcare system right now, basically for sick, old, tired people. And most Americans are overweight.
Yeah.
They're inflamed. They're fatigued, they don't feel good, and the normal is not even close to optimal.
No, and we have seen also from ranges have changed. Like just recently, our lab's optimal ranges just changed to meet a quota or what.
Yeah, but let's not optimal ranges. They're called reference ranges.
Reference ranges. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Our reference ranges, not optimal ranges. Sorry. It's sometimes funny because when they get their labs back, sometimes they're in the red or they're black. And physicians or providers do not like range or like their labs in red at all.
And we actually do a lot of times. We love to see
out of range.
Yeah, we love to see out of range levels when they need to be out of range. Or if someone feels the best there and they're not having any issues or side effects, don't think of a reference range always as being normal. You have to think of what's normal for you and not a sick old person that's tired and ready to die.
Yeah. Normal doesn't mean you're thriving. It basically means you're as messed up as everyone else. That's kind of what it means. Think of it as...
That's actually a funny...
think of it like...
That cracks me up.
Well, it is. It's true,
It's true, though. Yeah.
Think of it like school grades. Everyone fails a test. The teacher grades on a curve, then 75% still counts as a C. But you still didn't learn the material. Hormones are the same way. It's basically passing the lab test. Doesn't mean your body feels good.
Yeah.
Kind of funny.
Let's use testosterone, for example. So on most labs, normal will range between 250 and 1100. Massive range.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, a middle-aged man under 500 usually does not feel good. I see a lot of middle-aged men that are anywhere from 200 to 350. They feel terrible. So that is not normal. And in today's society, they're lowering the normal levels. And I think it's because everyone is coming in with lower testosterones now because of the way we were basically eating as we grew up with processed foods.
Yeah.
So it's really tanked our hormone levels for sure.
And for women, I think thyroid is a classic one. It's so interesting how we were taught to treat TSH as if your TSH is in range, then you're normal. You're normal. But we've got women, their hair's falling out. They're cold all the time. They're constipated. Women are constipated out there and they just...
Is there a lot? I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying it's a big issue. I'm just saying it's a big issue. And thyroid is a big issue. They're depressed and
depression runs rampant, or just not feeling great.
I know, and their TSH is normal, but their body is screaming otherwise. We don't treat TSH. I'll tell you right now. We treat the whole thyroid. We really look at T3 levels because that's really your active thyroid. And we'll actually get into some more discussions about thyroid. We've had some other discussions about thyroid, but optimizing your T3 levels. And I put a lot of women on thyroid that are not or hyperthyroid or have Hashimoto's. Exactly. But women feel good on thyroid. That's the end. That's the bottom end of it. So anyway.
With testosterone. Now, keep in mind, I always say this, but it's men and women. Sometimes we'll see women that just have a tremendous change when they get on some testosterone. But I'll use a man for an example, a friend of mine who he's in his 40s. His levels were, I want to say they're around 300 to 350. So on paper, that's normal. On the lab values, it's extremely low, but it's considered normal. So we put him on some testosterone therapy along with other supplementations, including some medicines for insulin resistance. Well, he's been on the program for 2 years now. And as far as weight loss goes, he has lost over 160 pounds. He started over 400. His muscle tone is way better. It's significantly better in the way he feels energy-wise. He's like doing kettlebell workouts, and he's found this new motivation to drive his own health. In other words, I'm helping him, but now he's found a new level where he's motivated and he does a lot of it himself.
Yeah. This is where optimization comes in. We do look at labs, but we also listen to how you're feeling. I mean, we always get labs about every 6 months in our program, but just because we want a baseline, we want to be able to look at, and there's going to be out of range.
One of the reasons I love labs is the labs that follow up 6 months after someone starts a program, because they can see where they started and where their levels are later and how they feel.
So we don't live by the paper. We live kind of more by how you feel. And that's really what we optimize to. So your body will always tell the truth on how you feel. If we start them on some thyroid, I optimize them to where they feel good. I kind of push it. And I don't get, it's kind of funny because they'll say, well, I get my thyroid checked every 2 to 3 months to see where the levels are. I'm like, who cares? How do you feel? A lot of times I'll be like, okay, if you feel better on it, I'm not causing you to have an autoimmune disease like hyperthyroidism. Your T3 is going to go up, but if you feel good, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and that's where traditional medicine gets lost. They base dosages upon lab values, and a lot of times lab values are not indicative of what's going on physiologically within your body. So like for thyroid, for example, if the normal level is between 2 and let's say 4.4, and I'm talking about T3, that's the active thyroid Amy was talking about. Yeah. There's people that feel better at 5.
Yeah.
They feel better when they're above what is considered a normal level. And guess what? They have 0 side effects, and all they get are good, positive benefits from it.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about thyroid, but it really does. Optimizing your thyroid helps with insulin resistance. It helps with metabolism. It helps with energy. And we don't treat it very well. We misdiagnose a lot. And I think about going into thyroid, going off a little bit, but how many people are in nursing homes that have low thyroid, low T3 levels, and should be on something, and their brain fog is there, and getting them on optimal thyroid. How many people could have brain fog lifted? And it's kind of sad to me to think that. But, we've been told so many things that, if you've been told you're normal, but you don't feel normal, you need to trust yourself. This is kind of where being the CEO of your health and understanding how you feel and what you felt like 10 years ago, or there's more to the story, and you don't have to settle.
So normal, think of this too. If you've got a car and you're driving a car and it says it's close to empty, but there's still some gas in the tank, right? So are you going to let it run completely out before you put gas back in? That's just an example of sometimes how hormones work. If they're not optimized, you want to fill the tank and keep the tank full instead of letting it get down to empty where you're about to crash or run out of gas.
Yeah, that's very true. I think we're all diving into misunderstood hormones. We're going to be talking a little bit more about estrogen, talking about whether estradiol and how to set your levels, why it's good. Is it bad for you? Is it good for you? We're going to be kind of going into those episodes too about how to optimize those things. But it really truly comes down to how you feel. And you shouldn't be taking normal labs and dismissing how you feel from your providers. like I say, you have to be the advocate for your health. You
Yeah.
have to be able to say, this is not good enough for me. I don't feel good. Why don't I feel good? And just because my labs are normal, it's not good enough, guys.
And it doesn't matter what age you are. I mean, again, I had a 70-year-old woman come in. She said, I had a hysterectomy 30 years ago. She's never been on hormone replacement therapy since. So she has had basically zero hormone in her body for 30 years. She said, that's when everything started. Depression, low energy, low libido, low motivation. When we put a plan in place for her, she was like the most excited person I've ever seen. She was like, so you're telling me there's hope? You're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah.
So not only is there a chance, it's going to work and she's going to feel amazing. So these are the stories that we hear on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And the people we interact with.
Yeah. And it's just, we want to restore hope back because there is help.
Not just hope, but results.
And there's providers out there that can help you, not just us. There's other hormone providers out there.
But we want to help you.
Well, that will listen to you. But just find someone that's going to listen to you. Find a provider that is going to listen to you and help you. And I feel like there's people out there that can do that. And so thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions or any concerns or want to drop us some messages, go right ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.